So I'm doing something a little different today. It's a new format that I've not tried before, which is the proper streamer girl format. Because, as you can see, in case you're not aware, Fortnite has just announced that in the next season that starts in about a week, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat is going to be here in the UMK3 outfit. Predictable, I suppose. It is interesting that it's Sub-Zero instead of Scorpion, but the question then is... I get it, because this can be the Battle Pass, right? So Sub-Zero's in the Battle Pass, Scorpion's going to be the premium character. That way Scorpion gets to be available way more often. I see what you're doing there, Ed. Now, the reason I'm making this video is, I have thought about this video before, the idea of what if MK was in Fortnite, like my friend Mistress Dove has done ones for, say, Kingdom Hearts in Fortnite. What would that be like? I thought I could do one for MK. The plan was to do it during Mortal May, but Sub-Zero's coming out right away, so I need to get on this now. I'm going to go through what I think Sub-Zero could or will get, and I'm going to also make the assumption that Scorpion will be a store character. Yeah, this is my current character, which is, you know, Katana. See Katana, we have Fortnite at home, guys. So I'm going to go through each item that you typically get with a Fortnite character and kind of guess what the character will have. So first off, you have the skin, and some characters have styles, which can be alternate colors. They just put an Iron Man in the game where you can have various different armors. It's like 4 armors in one with about 4 different color palettes you can use for all of them. No, I don't want... Whatever, it's fine. No, it's not. I need it for the aesthetic. Oh. So with Scorpion it would be easier because, you know, what style do you have? Unmasked with the... Well... Is this game released in China? If it's released in China, then we won't get the skull face. If it's not, then we will. Because that tends to be what determines whether you get skulls in media now is, are we selling this in China for China money? If not, then fuck them. We're going to put skulls in because skulls are cool. It depends which Sub-Zero it is. I mean, it's UMK3 Classic Sub-Zero, which means it's technically Bihan. Maybe we'll get unmasked, maybe we won't. There's a decent shot that if this is Bihan, we could just straight up get a Noob Saibot one. Because one of the things about Fortnite, one of the benefits of it, one of the reasons why this is one of those ongoing games without power creep that you see in all these gacha games, new characters just play the same as everyone. Sub-Zero won't have unique powers, therefore they can just give him a Noob Saibot costume. It's entirely possible that this one character will simply have all the ninja palettes. I doubt it, because I think Ed's going to want Scorpion to be readily available. Although, it's worth noting that from a couple of seasons back, they are going to be starting to have older Battle Pass content become available later in the store. I can't get Solid Snake, but you should be able to get Sub-Zero if you come in late. If we can assume the character's going to get 2 alternate styles each, Scorpion would be unmasked. Probably just an orange recolor, whereas Sub-Zero would probably get unmasked, looking more like the MK9 version of the unmasked costume, because that was based more on UMK3. Probably a Noob Saibot color palette. It could be wrong, it could just be another blue, but another blue would be kind of lame. So it would be preferable if they gave him Noob Saibot as a nod to the lore. Then we have back bling. Now back bling, a lot of the time it's just a random item. So, you know, you can get things like capes, you can get swords, you can get April O'Neil's camera. But when you look at, like, hey, Raiden's high frequency blade, it's like Gwenpool's swords, where if you have the pickaxe that is the same item equipped, then the character can actually draw it. So I'm sure Scorpion's going to get swords. Which swords? Well, it could just be a sword, but I'm sure he'll get his MK9 swords. They're kind of the most iconic designs for swords Scorpion has had, I would say. There's already plenty of characters with dual swords on their backs that you can just take off and swing around, and it's all good. Like, you got Ninja Turtles, you got Deadpool, you got Gwenpool. It's already there, you just need new models, and that's where I'm sure they'll do Scorpions. Sub-Zero, it's harder to imagine what Sub-Zero's back bling would be because he hasn't really had anything like that. He's had a cape in one arcade ending and then in Injustice 2. Probably not going to be getting a cape. I could imagine it being the dragon medallion that Kuai Liang gets as the Grandmaster just placed on his back. It could just be an ice weapon, because obviously he's going to get an ice axe or something, or a sword for his pickaxe, which is really just the melee weapon your character has. I'm sure he'll get that, but do you want a character to be carrying an ice weapon on their back when the whole thing is crafting them out of ice on the spot? You don't want that. You want him to just manifest it out of nowhere as if he's just created it. Ideally with an effect, but maybe not. But that's kind of the way you want the character to be. So I think his back bling will probably just be the dragon medallion. I mean, I'm sure we're not going to get a skull, like a skull trophy on his back. Maybe Sector's head, like his helmet. You can say, when they can just say, well, it's not his severed head, it's just the helmet. He's just wearing it on his back. But I think Sub-Zero's going to get an oversized dragon medallion. Scorpion's going to get his swords, probably the MK9 ones, because the MKX ones just aren't as good. And they could just make something up, I suppose, but that's less interesting. Then we have the glider, which is basically something along these lines, right? And then you get wild stuff, like you have Doctor Doom's giant fist that you can ride on, Mothra in the recent Godzilla event, bikes that I don't know if you ride on it or if you just grab onto it from the bottom, a Halo Pelican, all sorts of cool stuff. So what from MK can you really think of that would go here? The only characters that really have anything like this would be like Sonya, who has had affiliation with helicopters several times. Sub-Zero doesn't really have anything like this. All I can really think of would be a golden dragon similar to the Elder Gods form. There already been dragons elsewhere, so maybe that's a justification thing. Go, well, we could just reuse that, but gold, I guess. But you want something a bit more distinctive, but what can Sub-Zero really have? Unless it's just like an ice effect where he's like firing ice down out of his hands like Cole McGrath's lightning in Infamous to slow his descent. That would be really cool for most characters to have. I'm not sure what Iron Man has, actually. I do have War Machine, but I didn't get all his stuff in the Battle Pass, so I'm not sure. No, he has this, he has these glider wings. It's possible Iron Man has that, though, with the energy thing. That would be the best thing for Sub-Zero, I think. The Scorpion? I guess a demon, maybe? I've just had another thought. The average Battle Pass goes like this. You have the stuff for the character spread across 2 levels. I'm sure Sub-Zero's going to be one of the last ones because it's like the one licensed character we have in this season. So it's going to be like, yeah, I get a lot of levels to get his stuff. But you get 2 colours, and each of these items will have 2 colours to correlate to. Like, here's the backpack for this colour, then here's the backpack for this one. Sub-Zero would be Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot. Scorpion would be yellow and orange. No, Scorpion's not going to be in the Battle Pass, what we're talking about. But a lot of them do have the colour option, so I could see the Dragon Medallion also having Shinnok's Amulet as an option as well. The really cool thing would be if they were like, well, here's the 3D era version, but you also can get the MK9 version. Because, you know, one was white or silver, and one of them was meant to be gold. And they're very different designs. What do I think they're going to do for the gliders? That's probably the hardest one to come up with, I would say. It could just be, here's a parachute with the MK logo on. The coolest option, though, would be some kind of demon for Scorpion and Sub-Zero firing ice down. But I feel like it's going to be more generic than that. Kicks, there are no kicks, unfortunately. No MK characters have iconic shoes anyway, so there's nothing there. The Contrail is just an effect for when your character's in freefall before they activate the parachute. So you can get all kinds of random energy effects. You can have flares shooting out. You can have boosters coming out of the feet. Energy, souls. This would be a good one for Ermac. You know, I mean, this one here is already going to be good for Sub-Zero Snow Sparkle. I'm sure it would be something similar to that, just because, you know, Sub-Zero. And Scorpion would have, like, a fiery thing. Aura isn't a common thing for Battle Pass characters. Some of them do get it. Like, I think this one was a Miku one. I could be wrong. But this is just for when you're playing the rock band mode made by the actual Rock Band developers. Sub-Zero with an ice aura would be really cool. Scorpion with a fiery aura, I'm sure those already exist. So maybe they'll just recycle those. Now, emotes. Emotes are an interesting one because the character will usually get one. The question is, what would Scorpion or Sub-Zero have? An obvious one, victory pose. I could also see the character taking on their stance. There are some emotes where the character will just hold out the hand and an object will come out. I'm sure we'll get a finish him or a fatality one there. Depending on whether or not fatality is considered too violent for this game where children's characters like Batman and Godzilla shoot people with AKs. But yeah, I think it's likely to be either taking on the battle stance or doing a victory pose. I could see Scorpion getting a unique one because there are some that are tied to specific characters. For example, if you go over to iconic Mortal Kombat X character Xenomorph, he actually has a unique emote only he can use. Because it's tied to his character model and the stuff that he has. So I could see them giving Scorpion one where he just takes his mask off. Yeah, maybe instead of having it be a style, that could just be I think he can do. He can take his mask off and then it could stay off until you do the emote again and he puts it back on. I hope they do, because something I may have mentioned in a video once before but never really talked about is the fact that we have never seen Scorpion put his mask back on. Maybe in an animated movie, but I don't think even there. I'm pretty sure we've never seen that. Because normally he takes it off, kills the opponent, fatality, and then we fade to black. Or just cut away. We don't see him putting it back on. We don't need to, that's because the scene's over. Or in the original movie, he takes his mask off and then it explodes. It would be so funny if Fortnite ended up being the first time we ever saw Scorpion put his mask back on. That would be very, very good. I'm going to switch to this one, the one that Sonic RXD bought me for my birthday last year because he is an absolute pro. Now, wraps. So wraps are just basically a colour scheme to go on boats and weapons. So, you know, here you have the War Machine one, you have the Raiden one of the Snoop Dogg ones, Doctor Doom, Pilverine, all sorts of stuff. And like most characters get these. Now, the obvious thing you're going to look at and go, well, obviously, Scorpion just gets like a black and yellow. Sub-Zero could be black and blue, or it could be an ice effect. I don't think it'll be an ice effect. So there is a couple of characters. There's Midas and Marigold here. They have the golden touch, like, you know, King Midas from the original myth. The way this basically works is when they pick up a weapon, it turns gold. I think Sub-Zero should have that. I think Sub-Zero should freeze an item when he picks it up. So when he picks up a rifle, it now has a frozen effect over it. I think that would be really cool. That could even be Sub-Zero's emote. He could like maybe freeze himself and then shatter himself out of it, because he does that as taunt sometimes. It's always possible they'll just do the lamest thing possible and just go... Actually, I think wraps are only for Battle Pass characters, so Scorpion might not even get one. They could just do the lamest thing and just go black and blue with the dragon logo on it, or go broadly Mortal Kombat, which would not bode well for future MK characters being added, I think. You'll also get a loading screen, which is a piece of art of the character. And, you know, there's some really good ones. I love this one, this Doctor Doom one. It's not especially clever, but I like it. And then you get just cool art of, like, Godzilla and... Yeah, Godzilla. And, like, if the Battle Bus wasn't there, it's like this could just be normal Godzilla art. Just really cool stuff. We're going to get something really good there. I could see it being Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, or Sub-Zero versus some character that's kind of similar within Fortnite. Jam tracks are tracks you can play in the Rock Band mode, or that you can also play with an instrument. You can actually just bust out an instrument and just start playing it, and you can play any instrument in isolation, or you can sing the song, another song can pop in. So the question then is, could we get MK music? I don't think we're going to get any here, but there's the potential in the future. The problem is there's no vocal options. Now, I'm not sure if there are any tracks that have no vocal options. I'd have to look into that. But that could be a possibility, that they could have just, here's some MK music from one of the early games. Everyone would want Techno Syndrome, but it's like, I don't know what the legal rigmarole for all that is, because of... There's a lot to it. You know, it wasn't made by Midway or NetherRealm. I don't think they own it. There have been remixes and rearrangements based on it. So I don't know how that works. It could be that they could just make a new rendition of it, and that would be fine. I don't know. It'd be really fun if it's like double tap for Kano, Liu Kang, Raiden, Johnny Cage. You know, just doing that with your own vocals, and then you're just doing all the random, like, test your might. Test your might. That would be very funny. And then we have this subject, Lego. We won't get a Lego kit, but Lego Fortnite Odyssey. When you go to that, most characters will have Lego forms. And they even have Lego renditions of the emotes, which is very cool. Not everyone is available. There's no, for example, there's no Lego Xenomorph. There's no Master Chief or Raiden. But there are some that have never existed in Lego Fortnite. There's never been a Lego Guan Yu, but here he is. I don't think there's been a Lego April O'Neil. I'm pretty sure TMNT went to Mega Bloks. Oh, I'm dumb. I don't have Hatsune Miku, so I don't have access to the Lego version. But there is a Lego Hatsune Miku in the game. There is a possibility that we could see an officially designed Lego Sub-Zero. Again, it's not guaranteed. Like Master Chief and Raiden and Ellen Ripley, Godzilla, Xenomorph, they don't have those. You can't see them behind my big ugly mug, but they are there, trust me. But they don't have Lego forms. This is like the closest we have to a Lego MK character. But we could be on the cusp, lads. We could be on the cusp of Lego Sub-Zero officially existing in some form. You can't see them very well, but imagine the doors this could open. It's very easy. The parts already exist for the most part through, is it Ninjago? I don't know how it's said, but the parts already exist. You can very easily make a custom Lego Sub-Zero. It could look just like that. That is a distinct possibility for something that might exist in the next week or so. And that, I think, would be rather nice. I don't even know why I had my headphones on. I've not been listening to any audio this whole time. Anyway, Fortnite for Sub-Zero. That's what I think could be cool, would be cool. If we were able to get all these very fun characters. That's what I think we could be getting for Sub-Zero's edition in the game in about a week's time. For those wondering about my other content, I'm still working on a decently sized one. It just requires a lot of new footage. It's taking a while. There's been a few things that have held it back. I'll probably talk about it on the podcast. Don't worry about that. You know, I'm going to be picking up Sub-Zero when he drops into Fortnite, and I'm sure Scorpion will just be in the store at some point. Whether it be just Scorpion on his own, or would there be another character alongside him? It could be Raiden, it could be Liu Kang, it could be anyone. If this video does well, I may do something like this to discuss what other MK characters could be like if they were in Fortnite. What would we get if Liu Kang or Johnny Cage or Raiden made it in? I mean, Johnny Cage would be a really good fit. He's obviously been the big focus for the new movie. So, you know, you might want to insert him. Hell, maybe even get a Carl Urban costume for him in Fortnite. We've seen stuff like that before, where we had Nathan Drake from the games and from the movie, with, you know, the Tom Holland one with his likeness and everything. It would be really cool to get that. And then the next step is to add Judge Dredd to Fortnite and add him to Mortal Kombat, and then all will be right with the world. So now, fortunately, we no longer have to settle for Mortal Kombat in Fortnite at home. We actually are getting Mortal Kombat in Fortnite. I'm a little annoyed that it is just the very basic, it's Sub-Zero in UMK3 outfit. Is this them trying to make up for lost time where we didn't get it in MK11? Could that be a hint about what the next video is? Who knows? Please check out these other videos, and don't let this video die a death, because my Fire Emblem video tanked, and I might not be able to financially recover from this. Is that a meme people still use?